So I've been saying for a while now that I certainly believe the overall market is extended. We have bounced so much from the April lows without really any single pullback. And, you know, I'm not really interested in initiating any new long positions into this move, right? You know, Everyone's like, to me, stocks are down like, I don't know, a couple dollars. And everyone's like, should I buy now? Is this the time to buy? What should I do? So ask yourself, guys, looking at a stock like Nvidia, do you think it makes sense to buy it when it was just at 235 and it's at 229 right now? Or do you think it made more sense to buy it at 169 when everyone was panicking? What do you think about Amazon? Do you think Amazon is a good buy, $10 off its high? Or do you think it was better when no one wanted it? It's the same thing with these memory names. This SanDisk is up 1,000, 1,500%. You really think it's a good time to buy this SanDisk right now? This Micron is up 100% in a month. You really think that this is the right time to buy these stocks? No. So it kind of really blows my mind how many people are interested in buying stocks, not when they're down 20%, but when they're down 1%. It makes no sense. So I am very, very bullish in this market long term. My long-term investments are absolutely crushing it. But I'm not really interested in buying these stocks at the highs right now. I'm waiting for a dip. And today is the first time in a long time that we are getting a dip in the indexes. So I posted my thoughts earlier, and I'll post it again, is I said, with the overall market gapping down, and after a big fail on the IPO CBRS, this shit just went straight down yesterday, all day, straight down. And SPY hitting a whole number of 750 and failing, right? Inflation fears are at highs. Potential rate hikes are coming. Memory names and semiconductor names are super extended. So I'm looking to short these moves. So with the overall market gapping down, I think that the first initial move is going to be up. I think a lot of, unfortunately, idiots are going to be buying the dip here, and that bounce is going to fail. So I think in your head, logically, SPY just went from $6. So if you just divide this by 10, 630 is $6.30, and we went all the way up to $7.50. So 630 to 750. You think it really makes sense to buy a 740, right? If you want, God bless, but that doesn't really make any sense to me, So I think that a lot of people have missed the boat on the big 30% bounce in the market. I think a lot of people have a lot of FOMO, right? And I think a lot of people are going to be wrong. So I am looking to short all of the extended memory names today. You can see clear as day that, about 2 days ago, Micron went down nearly $100 a share in one day. We're already gapping down $35 a share. So what's stopping this from going down to the lows at least, or maybe even lower? SanDisk, same thing. We've just been having lower highs and lower highs and lower highs. You can see that previous daily support, we're now under. So in my opinion, you don't want to be buying these stocks when the market is down its first day after being up 30%. So I actually mentioned this to our Diamond members as well. I mentioned yesterday that, I'll actually just share what I said. Here's what I said yesterday to our Diamond members. I said, as you guys know, we're long-term investors and our time horizon is 5 to 8 years. I hope everyone enjoyed the gains across names like Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia, which are up nearly 40%. I said, with that being said, in my opinion, the market feels toppy at these levels with SPY at 750. Because of that, I am not looking to initiate new positions right now. We can even consider taking some small profits on our best performing positions to free up cash while we wait for SPY to pull back to the low 700s. And that's it. So pretty much yesterday, I called the top in the market for our Diamond long-term holders. So I certainly do believe that, we will be in for some profit taking, which is totally healthy. I don't think that the market is going to crash. I don't think that the bull market is over. I don't think that we're going to enter a recession or depression or anything like that. But I certainly do believe that after having 6 weeks in a row of being green, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 weeks in a row of being green. I mean, I think it's pretty illogical to not think we at least have one red week coming up, probably starting today and into next week, right? Nothing could go up forever. So with that being said, that's kind of where my bias comes in today for short bias on these names. Ideally watching the extended memory names like Micron and SanDisk. Short, they're already showing a lot of weakness. So there's that. And that's pretty much it. So, excuse me, one sec. Sorry, I've been sick for the last God knows how long. That's like the most talking I've done in a week. But anyway, that's kind of my thought process. So I posted my watch list early. If anyone wants to repost it, feel free to repost it. But I'm going to pass the baton over to Steve right now while I just take a small break, catch my breath, and we'll get started live trading in the next few minutes here.
Cool. All right. So I want to go over one sec. I'm going to go over these monthly recaps. I had some more time to finish going through them and putting some notes on them. And I want to talk about these kind of lessons that, members mainly in the participant workshop, but also outside the workshop, learned over the last month, what helped them, what didn't, what they struggled with, and what was working. So here's the recaps. I'm not going to read all this. I'm going to kind of go over the key notes. I've also got a fun kind of graphic comic to go along with this. I think this is fun. So feel free to scroll to the bottom, watch the graphic. You could kind of read through it, and I'll kind of go through my notes on some of these key points. And yeah, make sure you guys are in webinars and Slack webinars channel. Okay, so first of all, again, thanks, Phil, for putting these together. That link at the top links you to all the recaps. Thank you to everybody who contributed. There were a lot of really great lessons. There were a lot of reoccurring themes that I'll also go over. And yeah, I think these are a really good way to kind of share knowledge, share lessons, learn from others, learn what's working well, what's not working well. Thanks, Andrew. And yeah, so first of all, I want to kind of highlight some of these. And like I said, when we get, depending on how much time we have, I definitely want to get to the kind of main points and main overarching pointers and lessons from this group. So first of all, I want to start with James. James, thanks for contributing. James, as you know, is one of our moderators. He's on here with me live trading the last couple of days. And James had some really great insight. I've also got, James, your P&L calendar. So your P&L curve. So going into this, James did say that he had his first red month in a very long time. But when I show you guys the P&L curve, I don't think you guys will be Venmoing him too much money anytime soon. But still, James had some great lessons. So first of all, he see his first red month in a long time. Controlled his losses far better than previous years, which is key. Some of the key lessons that he learned in pass on trading outside of your niche is expensive, right? This is a reoccurring theme that I kept reading from different members. Red months are part of the process, obviously. So just like a red day, red months are the same, right? As you guys know, we talked a few weeks ago, and red month James did. I mean, most of us did. A lot of members DM me that, they had a really tough time in April. They don't know what's going on. And I kind of talked about this yesterday a little bit, but it happens, right? Markets change, things happen. April, we had a couple really tough tickers like CAR, right? So it happens. It's going to happen. Alex mentioned after doing some research, he went back and he found that his last red day was 2 years ago, 2024, April. So 2 years, knock on wood, without any red months except April. And kind of funny that it was also April from 2 years ago. So I don't care how good you are. Sometimes it's just going to happen, right? Red months are part of the game. The key here is how you deal with it, how you control it. So James goes on to say that you want to be avoiding the random low quality trades during the chop, especially if you're having a tough month or, it's a tough month in general. You want to prevent the emotional spiraling. In his case, that was a major milestone. I want to share, like I said, his overall P&L curve. Not because, the only reason basically I want to share this is because I think it's a really good lesson and insight. We might think, hey, it's the end of the world, things are tough, what do we do? But when we zoom out, it doesn't mean that we're a losing trader. It doesn't mean that our process isn't working. It doesn't mean that we should give up or any of those things. The key is we've got to keep it controlled. You could see by his P&L curve that, it was a red month, right? But in the big scheme of things, not bad, right? So great job. And I think it's great insight to just kind of zoom out. Yeah. And James says, if you do feel bad enough for him, he'll drop his Venmo. You guys could send him some cash. So keep things in perspective, guys. Red months, red days, they're going to happen. It's how you deal with them that's key, right? They're going to come, but you got to deal with them the right way. So Phil is next. Phil is also one of our moderators. Phil and Yuchi and lately Edson host our one-on-one discipline workshop mentoring group. Phil also posts his recap and some of the lessons here. First of all, he said that this month he had better emotional control during rough conditions. So rough conditions, red, kind of choppy markets, tough markets that don't favor our style, maybe, they're really good tests, right? They're really good tests to see how we deal with them, right? Do we control the losses? Do we control the FOMO? Are we using proper risk management? Do we have a max loss, per ticker in place, max daily loss in place with our broker? All these kind of things to help us control, our emotions. Are we trading less instead of more, right? So Phil says that he was able to better control his emotions over this kind of tougher month. Some of the key lessons, he says, adding to winner requires confidence and confirmation. Death by paper cuts usually comes from over trading and revenge attempts. That is true, right? So if you go back, and I learned this from Austin in one of his webinars years ago, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. If you go back, you could do it over a month or you could do it over a year. It doesn't matter how long, but I think you'll find the same thing. If you can go back and eliminate your top, let's just say 5 red days or worst days or whatever, and just completely take them off the books, usually what we'll see is, if we were red, oftentimes we were green. We would have been green over that period. If we had a small green period, we would have been had a really big green period, right? So often it comes down to a few key trades that can completely screw us. And that comes down to overtrading and revenge attempts. And, like I keep mentioning, like we talk about daily, having those guardrails in place, like the max daily loss with your broker, are really key, right? So Phil also goes on to say that he never adds to his losers. Some other key points are hold confirmed positions to plan targets. So you don't want to be covering out too early and not maximizing your plan, basically not sticking to the plan. It goes both ways, right? Not only minimizing your losers, but also maximizing your winners, right? So he says, focus on getting your average winner bigger than your average loser. And this is a big one. And I read this a couple times and we talk about it daily, right? It's not a big secret, but that's really the game changer. And somebody asked me a couple days ago, like, what was my aha moment? And I really kind of boiled it down to this, right? Which is trying to get the winners bigger than your losers, right? Not revenge trading, not spending several hours a day, after, trying to revenge trade or make the money back or whatever. Stick with something when it's working, right? So next recap, Mark Turok. Mark Turok, if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, I had him on here so that we could, excuse me. I hope I'm not getting sick from you, Alex. I know we've been talking remotely, but I don't know if viruses work that way, but still.
Can you imagine?
Like I'm also getting sick. Okay, so Mark was on here a couple weeks ago on the live trades, and we had a really great discussion. If you guys remember that, Mark is a really great member who's been doing really well in the discipline workshop and his trading in general. So some of his recent accomplishments, he says that he had 0 red days for the entire month, which, I don't want to jinx them, knock on wood, going, pretty solid during pretty, kind of rough times, right? During a generally rough month, right? So Mark's also had 3 straight months with almost no discipline breakdowns. And what he means there, if you guys are not active in the discipline workshop, is we get a calendar and you mark your discipline wins and discipline losses. That means how well you stuck to the plans, or if you deviated, regardless of your P&L, you get a discipline win or loss based on that criteria alone, right? So he had almost no discipline breakdowns in the last 3 months. His winners are now equal to or exceed. They're bigger than his losers, which is key. And the crazy thing is he traded smaller and he made more, right? So how many times do we talk about this? I think every day. And I talk about it because it's true. And I talk about it because a lot of members still don't seem to have realized that yet. If you're struggling or things are tough, size down, right? Usually means that you make more. So some key points from Mark's recap. Mark says deep review and journaling creates real edge. Mark believes in grading his setups A, B, and C, and he sizes accordingly. This is something that Alex teaches all the time, right? You guys see live examples daily of Alex grading his setups, right? Mark also says trade less, make more, like we've been talking about. Mark is cutting his losers early. He says that helps to build confidence. And he also says the emotionless execution is the goal. So exactly right. Just like we teach in the workshop, you want to be executing like a computer, like a machine, right? You want to execute. You feel those emotions creeping in. If things aren't going well, you need to shut it down, right? So emotionless execution is the goal. Cool. So great job, Mark. Looking forward to your next recaps. And yeah, keep up the great work. I'll read a couple more of these, then I'll go over the main kind of ideas here. Effie's another great member who's been active for a while. She says that she had a green April. She began building confidence in adding to winners. And again, this is, a really great way to get the winners bigger than your losers. We want to be adding to the winners, not the losers, right? So Effie also says that she lowered her max daily loss. This was a huge turning point. She has a hard broker enforced max loss, and that prevents her emotional overrides. And she says that finding your niche setup takes time and repetition, right? So for your max daily loss, what we usually recommend, and I get a lot of questions on this, is if on average you make whatever it is, right? Let's say on average you make $500 a day on average. Your max daily should be, who could guess? I'm gonna just wait till you guys chime in, since I'm always the only one talking. Somebody say it. Yes, Phil for the win. Your max daily loss should be around 1K, should be around 2 times an average win day. And that keeps you from basically never giving back more than 2 days of hard work. So you should never be in a situation where you're giving back like a week or more, let's say a month or anything like that. You should always be safe. You should keep your emotions grounded by knowing that no matter what goes wrong, no matter how terrible the day is, I'm only able to lose 2 times an average win day, right? So 2 days of hard work. That's it, right? You can always recover from that. Next, Jimmy. Jimmy, I really loved reading his recap. Great job, Clemente. Clemente, did you copy or did you come up with that on your own? Yes. So Jimmy, I really liked reading this recap. Jimmy says that when he first joined MIC, he turned a $400 account into 10K during that first month. He had been trading before, but when he had rejoined, that was his results. Really awesome to hear that. So he did have a losing month last month, but he says it was well controlled. What I didn't put in here is he kind of specified some of the, max that he's lost before, and this was like a tenth of what he's lost in the past. So he really was able to control the loss, even though it was a red month, which is key, right? So he goes on to say that he had a massive improvement for his risk management, everything else, for the size of his loss. It was really well managed, and it came purely down to risk management. He sized down, says that can save a trading career. Again, he's got the max loss per ticker. He says that's mandatory. His bigger losses happen when traders think they know better, right? Or if you think the market owes you something. High high win rate means nothing if the losses are uncontrollable. That's a key point, right? So you could, win 90% of the time, but it doesn't do you any good if, 10% of the time you blow your account, right? So again, we want to only, worst case, we want to be only losing 1 to 2 days of hard work. That's it. And then we can keep everything under control. I'll go through one more of these, then I'll go through the overall recaps, the overall summary.
Real quick,
Alex?
Steve, let me just cut you off
sure.
real quick, Steve. Give me a second here.
Sure thing.
I said that what happened was last time we had the live trading, I made this $27,000 day on Micron, and everyone missed it. So I think I'm gonna keep the live trading going today because I think we're gonna have another really, really big, solid opportunity. So this is the power of live trading, guys, or anyone that's kind of watching on YouTube, is when I cut off the stream on May 12th, that led to the biggest day of the month, So, yeah, I'll let you kind of take it from here, Steve.
No problem. So Alex goes on to say he had his best performing month of the year, improved adding to winners, and I think that was key. He credits sticking to the watch list, reassessing after he stopped out, not rushing his entries, and adapting to the market cycle, right? That was a big one. So we got another couple minutes. I want to read real quick the overall summaries. So here were the biggest kind of reoccurring lessons across all the recaps. Risk management is the real edge, right? No surprise there. Max loss rules save accounts, just like we've been talking about. Adding to your winners works. That's key to getting the winners bigger than your losers. Adding to a loser destroys accounts. So basically, if the stock is going in the wrong direction, you don't want to be adding, you want to be stopping, you want to be avoiding. If the stock is going in your favor, in your direction, that's when you could consider adding, right? Sounds simple, but that's the key. Patience and confirmation matter. Over trading kills consistency. Trading outside of your niche hurts performance. Smaller size improves discipline and performance. No trade days are healthy. Process matters more than P&L. Emotional control separates profitable traders from gamblers. And fewer high quality trades is bigger than many random setups. Also, members credit journaling, reviewing, saying that accelerates their growth. Most bad days come from forcing trades, not from bad setups. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Real quick, before the market opens, if any of you listening on YouTube want a deal to join, today's Friday, so feel free to email me. I'm going to post it here. StephenRH1@myinvestingclub.com. If you guys want to if you have any questions at all about joining, what we do, what kind of service we offer, anything like that, feel free to just email me. Or if you want to know, what options you have to join, just let me know and I'll be happy to help you guys out with that. Cool. So we got about a minute left. I'll pass it back over. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Steve. I'm going to try to talk only when it's necessary because my voice is completely shot. But you can see that the SanDisk and Micron is setting up. Just going to need a bounce at the open, and hopefully they bounce. If not, no problem. Also, I mentioned in the watch list, Microsoft has relative strength due to Bill Ackman buying. So might see some holds on Microsoft too. So we'll see with the market open up here in about 30 seconds. So normally this is where we would cut off the live stream on YouTube, but I'll keep it going for a little bit today. And we'll take it from there.
And TDIC back to $1.55.
Market open.
$35 push. Insane.
So watching this bounce on Micron. Let's see. Probably a 744 area I'll watch.
fail so far, but not gonna chase it. Started there, 743.99. So 743.99 starter on Micron. And leaving room for higher. Watching for 750 as the next ad. Do you think the bounces will get sold off? So 750 is my next area. Hopefully I get it. At the end of the morning rush. Here we go, 749 got an ad. Got an ad, 749. Intel straight down. So far my average is 746.50 on this Micron. And I'm just assuming that these morning pops will sell off. SPY fail, Tesla fail, Nvidia fail, Amazon fail. So I think after the morning rush is over, these things should fail. Potential ad spot could be a break of VWAP around 744 on Micron. So I'll watch that 744 area for a breakdown. Watching. 744 at it. 745.79 average so far. Nice ad, 5 points lower immediately. Drawing some support areas in the 737s. Let's see. Tesla down, SLE halt down, market down. See if we get a washout here. There we go. Come on. Microsoft is the only one that has relative strength today. SanDisk some bounce. Nice fail, Micron. Have some open orders on the dips to reduce some Micron if it gets there. I do think SanDisk should start failing here soon as well. So let's see. So you see this 739-ish is the key area on Micron. So I want to see a break of that 739. Well, I have some open orders to reduce some if it gets there, just to lock in some profits. Let's see, should be getting it right now. I do think all bounces are going to fail today. 739, reduce some. Next support is 737. Let's see. Intel back to low of the day. So the reason why I reduced some is to build myself a little bit of a P&L cushion. Give myself some time to be patient. And maybe we get back to low of the days here. Microsoft, good call on the watch list relative strength today on Bill Ackman, billionaire, buying it. It's the only stock that's pretty much green today. All right, here we go. Let's get a little bit lower. Next support is 37.5. Sitting at 37.5 to reduce more. 737.5 covered more. So this is making sense, guys. It's making sense. I'm not just randomly trading this today because I feel like it. There's a reason why I'm trading it. So far, so good. My throat's fucking killing me. Let's keep going.
I'm also taking some off here.
And it's coming down too. Look at that, wonderful, wonderful entries, up $10 a share. SanDisk would have been nice too. Nearing support on SanDisk, 1341. I think all this shit's fucked today. Major profit taking day in my opinion today. So if you've not taken some profits off on Micron being up $10 a share, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Up literally $10 a share. Look at that perfect top tick, 749s. Magnificent. Nvidia down. Intel 107. So I've locked in probably about half of my profits for $10 a share. Now the rest, I get to be a little bit more patient. What's the next support? Next support I see is this 32 area. Covered more 32. So covered more 732s. I mean, now it's just printing money. Now we're just printing money. Here we go. Next support area. It's low of the day. Low of the day is 730.
Very nice.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm running out of breath here and I'm running out of shares. So up nearly $12 a share, guys. So make sure to take some profits off the table. Microsoft straight up Microsoft. This is making sense, guys, as to why I'm deciding to trade these today, not yesterday, not the day before, not the day after, you know.
Covering more here, running out of shares.
Makes it look easy.
Saving a little
Yeah.
in case we break.
Yeah, I'm saving some for under 730. But I've locked in a bunch here, so please make sure to lock some profits in, guys. Don't be greedy. It's up fucking $15 a share, man. $15 a share. Sorry, guys. My throat is just still killing me. This is the most I've talked in a week. So good call to reduce some into the dips. Now watching for a potential reshort. It's a potential reshort opportunity. We'll see. This is why we reduce some into the dips. Big bounce on these names. Nice fail. So I do believe that today's a profit-taking day on a lot of names. So like I said, it was a good idea to reduce some into the dips. Bitcoin, 79,000. AUUD weakness. Micron showing some relative weakness here. That's pretty good. Kind of surprised with SanDisk being strong. Maybe it's just going to be a dead cat bounce. Yeah, these should all be weak together. So let's see. I don't want to risk too much of my profits on the reshort. So I'm going to take it a lot smaller on any reshort on Micron. I don't want to give back any profits. So we'll see. Letting them breathe out, let them trade out. Overall market's still red and heavy. Yeah, I was expecting way more profit taking on these names, to be honest. I really thought that they would just melt down non-stop. SanDisk showing a lot of strength so far. I really thought that this SanDisk would be just as weak as Micron, but we'll see.
Yeah, SanDisk trying to go green. We'll see. SPY's still weak at lows, pre-market lows.
So watching Micron, not reshorting yet. Waiting for clear signal, clear rejection. Overall market's still heavy though. That might have been a fail there on Micron. Overall market's still low today. I was expecting a lot more weakness out of these names though. I was really expecting them to get totally collapsed, but maybe it's still early. Nice fail there, Micron. Very, very nice fail. SanDisk joining. Market low of the day. NASDAQ low of the day. So we'll see how these trade out.
See if we get that break a low of the day finally. AUUD bouncing up. Come on, Micron, break the low of the days. Come on. Micron breaks the low of the days, you could expect a big death candle on SanDisk. Come on down.
Testing.
Market's heavy. Intel heavy.
No, there we go.
Reduce more, 729. Micron. Really, really nice winner. Really, really nice winner.
I'm shares to cover, just covered a little more.
AUD more bounce. Be careful of being accused of making volume for yourself through having people follow your live trades. You fucking dumbass, bro. You know how much Micron traded fucking $7 billion already? Fucking dumbass. What a fucking moron, bro. You think I could move Micron? What do I look like, Bill Ackman? Fucking idiot. No wonder you're fucking dumb. What an idiot. These YouTube people, who do you expect? Dumbass.
Yeah, I don't think our volume is going to move these stocks.
Dumbass.
We might as well move SPY next, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking move Microsoft next.
Or NVIDIA.
Fucking dumbass. Anyway, back to fucking business.
I mean, the thing is, you know, if you posed it as a polite question, it would be met with something polite. But, you know, when you pose it like that, it's kind of hard not to take it like you're just trolling. Just say, if you're not sure, just ask. Just ask the question. But we don't need trolls, though.
Maybe I should add that guy as a moderator. Seems pretty smart. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's wrong with questions, guys. Just ask. But you don't want to troll, right? It's a big difference.
If we hold 730 again, if we dip down and hold 730 again, I'll probably walk away from this Micron after making whatever, like almost $20, $15 a share. The reason why is I don't like how SanDisk is going green. Why the fuck is this thing going green? You know? Out of all the things that could happen, you know, I'm not expecting SanDisk to go green today when everything is selling off and everything has been weak. You know? So that's the only thing that's kind of wigging me out a little bit. So I want to see how this retests 730 and then maybe call it a day.
Yeah, SPY's also bouncing.
I only have 10% of my size left. I covered 90%.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we are making lower lows, but yeah, we got to be careful.
I just don't like how SanDisk is green. You know, SanDisk and Micron trade as like a pair, right? So why the fuck is one of them green? So watching this retest 730, this will tell me what to do next.
SanDisk also failing the
Here we go.
red to green test.
Here we go.
Now Micron at lows.
So I posted my watch list earlier in the stream about my game plan today. I'm pretty much looking for a profit-taking day in the extended memory names based on the profit-taking day on the S&P and NASDAQ. Nice fails. Bitcoin, 78.
So far we're holding under 730, man. See, like, why is Micron at the low of the day and SanDisk is at the high of the day? That's kind of what wigs me out, dude. You know? I'm just gonna let my P&L keep adding up. I think I'm gonna set a hard stop at 730. That way, if it reclaims 730, I'll be out. So I'm gonna set a hard stop here, guys, at 730. If it reclaims 730, I'm gonna be out and call it a day. Let's see. So I'm all out here on Micron. So all out. So calling it a day here.
Nice trade.
So all out of Micron here, wrapping up an $8,400 day while being sick, which will bring me to, where am I? 8,409, which will bring me to $42,000 for the month. So nice $8,000 day, $42,000 for the month. That's it. Good exit there on the 730 reclaim as well.
Just covered out the rest. SanDisk is trying to go green, so
Yeah,
I don't
saying
really
this
wanna
going
mess
up
with
is
it.
not making sense to me, bro. That's the only thing that's kind
Right.
of wigging me out here. Why the hell is this saying this going up out of everything? You know? So I'm gonna call it a day here, guys. Wrapping up an $8,000 day. Live trading for everyone to see. If you guys have any questions about live trading, if you want to join live trading on YouTube, except for that dumbass guy, email us at stevenrh1@myinvestingclub.com, and we'll get back to live trading for MIC members on Monday. That's it.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on, Alex. I know you're sick and
Yeah,
it's
man,
tough.
I'm just gonna get some rest now.
Sounds good.
Later, guys.
Cool. See you guys.